Good evening. This is my 4.3 assignment that I'm doing, listening to the listener sermon. So, today I want to share a few reflections from the article listening to the listener sermons and how it has honestly changed the way I think about my own preaching. One of the things that stood out to me is to remember that preaching does not stop when the sermon ends. It actually continues in how people hear it, receive it, and try to live it out. The article helped me see that listeners do not come as blank slates. They bring real life with them: stress, hurt, questions, distractions, and sometimes even doubt to whatever they may be going through in life. As a preacher, that means I cannot just focus on delivering information. I have to think about the people that are hearing it. What really challenged me in this idea is that sometimes people do not struggle because the sermon is not biblical. They struggle because they're trying to connect that truth with real pain. That hit home. It really hit home. It reminded me that preaching is just as much pastoral as it is theological. Nehemiah 8 and 8 teaches us that the world was read, explained, and made clear so the people could understand it. That shows me that clarity is not just about structure, it's about care. Another helpful insight for me from the article recognizes that listeners are always asking questions, even when they don't say them out loud. Questions like, is this for me? Does this connect to what I am or what I'm dealing with? Is there hope in this? That pushes me to preach in a way that invites people into the text, not just talks at them. Nobody likes to be talked to. They want to feel like they are part of the sermon, not feeling like the pastor or minister, whoever's speaking during that time, is just talking to them. It's about helping them see themselves in God's story. As I thought about this article, as I thought about how this article could improve my preaching, it really made me reflect on how important listening is before I ever speak. Listening to God, listening to scripture, and listening to people. James 1:19 reminds us to be quick to listen, slow to speak. And I think it applies to preaching more than we sometimes realize. When it comes to impediments to listening today, two really stand out to me. The first one is a distraction. We live in a world that's full of noise, phones, notifications, stress, mental overload. Even when people show up to church, their minds are often somewhere else. That challenges me as a preacher to be intentional, focused, and clear so that the message does not get lost among everything that's competing for their attention. The second impediment is past hurt or distrust. Many people come into church carrying wounds from previous churches. When it's that case, when that is the case, listening becomes even harder. If people do not feel safe or understand, they may tune out before the sermon even begins. That reminds me that preaching has to be rooted in humility, grace, and authenticity. Paul reminds us in 1 Thessalonians 2:8 that he shared not only the gospel, but his life as well. That kind of posture builds trust. Overall, this article reminded me that good preaching starts with good listening. When we listen well to God and to people, our sermon becomes more than messages. They become moments where God meets his people right where they are. Thank you.